Hey everybody, Tom Barnes, stories from the 78 from the North Shore up here in Wilmette. I'm at Zier's Prime Meats and Poultry. This place is phenomenal. In full transparency, I've been getting my turkey here for like 10 years. I did a story here years ago. I came back every year. They have the best steak, the best poultry, turkeys for Thanksgiving, of course, barbecue things for the summer. Dave and Denise, family-owned place. It's a great story, and we're gonna hear it now for this story from the 78. All right, so inside, I'm gonna call it Wilmette's most famous poultry butcher shop. We're here with the owners, Dave and Denise. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So 40 years. You guys have been here for almost 40 years. And we were talking right before we got started off camera. You know, business plans, nothing. You guys just wanted to make sure you didn't fail is what you said, right?
Pretty much, yeah. The most basic business plan, I think, is not go out of business.
And I would also argue, some people say one of the things that you shouldn't do is go into business with your partner in life. But you guys did that, and you kind of bucked that trend, and because you're here 40 years later.
She's a remarkable woman.
We also weren't married at the time that we opened the store.
Were you dating at the time?
We were engaged.
Oh, you were engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So talk about just the legacy that you guys have started here all those years ago and what it means to be here 40 years later through a pandemic, through 3 children, grandchildren you have now, and I've met some of your children here at the store over there picking up a turkey.
Yep.
Talk about what that all means to you and all that fun stuff, if you would.
You know, when you sit back and kind of recount the years in your mind, it's really amazing. And the years have flown by.
Yeah.
I think we're both very grateful for what this community has done for us. And it took a few years before, in fact, I think one of your cousins says, Dave, I bet you're the talk of the town around Thanksgiving meal. I'm like, you know, I never really thought about that. I was so intimidated by most of our clientele, but
It's true.
Yeah.
And, you know, like he was saying, we are very grateful for the community that we have here. And I've always known that our customers, they're awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But what I saw during the pandemic made me realize how truly awesome they are. Because this community, we had customers coming in here that wanted to do good for the sisters over at down near Malincrot.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would ask us to put up some meals for them, and then we would match whatever they would bring to them. The police department, people would want to send stuff down to them. Customers that would say, we are going to support one restaurant every week to make sure none of them go out of business. And none of them went out of business because of the pandemic.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It is a great community, great people. And I'm proud to be a part of this community.
Would you, and obviously the pandemic probably the most trying time for your business over the last 40 years, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
physically, mentally, both.
Right, because you guys weren't just starting out when the pandemic. You were what, 30 plus years into your career doing this. I mean, that had to be struggle with a full family, grandkids, the whole thing, and a staff to have to worry about.
You know, and all the stuff in the news, we were so paranoid. We didn't know what to think. Are we going to have to microwave our mail? You know.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I mean, it's hard when you think back and what we know today versus what we knew then.
Yeah.
You know, it was a pretty scary time.
Yeah.
You had people that were calling up stating that they were positive for COVID. So we would deliver things to their car. They would leave their credit card in the back. You know, staff, I mean, we're older. We've been through a lot more than what our staff has been through. And, I mean, it was kind of a frightening time.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you. You know, now we look back at it and I think we tend to downplay it, but remembering at that time being in that front line, I care never to do that again in my lifetime.
Yeah, amen to that.
And I don't wish it on anybody.
Nope.
No, especially with those young grandchildren that you have coming up. We want to leave a better place for them.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
We had 2 weddings in between that, you know, that then and now. And
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, trying times for sure. But the reason why people probably fought so hard is what you guys do here. You know, you have full butcher shop happening on site, Dave, you were doing that stuff at WGN years ago when I first started working with you guys. We came here for an Around Town segment, and I think it's not just what you do, it's the product, but it's you guys as people and how you treat people when they walk in the door. I've never forgotten that. That's why I always come here. You know, we got a barbecue on 4th of July, we're here. New Year's steaks, we're here. Definitely turkeys on Thanksgiving. But what, in your opinion, what sets you guys apart from everybody else? What makes people want to drive miles to come back here and see you guys?
Well, I think a lot of it is, number one, the quality. We first started out, we had the grocery stores, we had a couple of the meat markets, and they were good. They were good businesses, but there's a lot of competition in that middle to low end. And I thought, you know what, let's go high end. Nobody's there, so that's what we did, and we found our niche. And the other thing is, we hate to say no to customers.
Uh-huh.
I can count on one hand over the almost 40 years that we've had to say no to a customer, only because it maybe wasn't physically possible or not possible to get that product. But we want to make people happy, you know. That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
It is customer service.
Yep.
Yeah, and your customer service far beyond the reaches of owning a business. And I have a very, very fond memory of you grilling for my best friend's bachelor party.
I remember that.
Right on the river,
Yep.
Chicago. One of the best days of my life. Dave was out there grilling up. I think it was just steak all day long. Maybe
Yeah.
a couple burgers, but that's what you guys do, and it's just because of who you are and what you do. And then Denise, every time I ask you, what's on the docket for Thanksgiving, the turkeys that you had for years, and even the turkeys last year, so good. It's just like, it's almost like a Hallmark movie in my brain when I think about you guys.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I like that.
It's
Hallmark
very
movie.
cool.
I like it.
Yeah, very cool. But Denise, Dave said his take on the last few years working here. What's yours? What sets you guys apart? What do you want people to know about what you guys do here?
I just have to repeat what he has said.
Mm-hmm.
We will do whatever it takes for our customers. We go out of our way to make sure what they need is available here.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is we've had people ask us to season things for them,
Mm-hmm.
to cut them a particular way, to stuff and tie something for them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We'll go out of our way to make sure what they need we can do for them. And I don't think a lot of places do that. And even our staff, we've told them, you need to think about what the customer wants and needs, and you need to make it happen. I don't want to hear you say no. We can't do that.
Right, and a lot of places say no,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
And a lot of places say no because, frankly, it's a pain. Okay, but you know what? It's not a pain to us.
Right.
Because I would appreciate somebody doing it for me.
Yeah.
And so that's how I treat my customers, the way I would want somebody to treat me.
You know, and oftentimes a customer will ask for something special made up, and maybe we'll make a little extra and try it. We're like, oh my God, this is awesome. We could sell this. There's probably a dozen items that we sell right now because of what we've done for other customers.
Yeah, you guys have, I mean, there's a whole case over to on your left shoulder, Denise, of things that are pre-made that you got. Like, I didn't know, when I first came in, you know, kid growing up in the burbs where we didn't have anything like this, you know, I was like, wait a minute, there's like the meats up front and all the cuts and all that stuff and the seasoning, but then you have like meals, like prep things that you can just toss into an oven really quickly. Did that something that started out, or is that what happened over time as you developed a palate for the neighborhood?
I think that happened over time.
Yeah.
And it also happened because, you know, for 11 years we lived in the apartment upstairs, and we would try to make meals for ourselves.
Sure, right, why
and
not,
we're
right?
Like, and there again, like, oh, this is really good, we could sell this. And really Denise is the impetus behind that.
And we're also trying to do more of that. A matter of fact, we hired 2 chefs.
Oh.
And they are amazing. Some of the ideas they've come up with, it's incredible and delicious. And so we're looking forward to 2025 and what they're going to come up and what we're going to start to offer.
So that's a new development.
Mhm.
Oh,
Part of
fun.
our issue is our space. So we need to figure that out on how we are going to have more freezer space for those items, because we don't want to limit what customers are used to, but we need to have more space. But some of the stuff they're coming up with is delicious.
Right, and Dave, when you would come into the studios or I'd visit you here, the stuff that you would do that I've never seen before, and you would just do it matter-of-factly. Like, was that something you like always have just done, or did you learn over the years, or did you want to be a butcher, a business owner, or that just kind of evolved as you guys kind of evolved?
You know, nobody's born that way, but I got my start in a grocery store.
Okay.
And as I worked there, my dad was a federal meat inspector. He retired, and then what do most people do when they retire? They start another
business
job or another business.
Yep,
So
my dad too.
he started a little locker plant in this little tiny town in eastern Iowa, Prairie Bird. And I worked for him part-time, and when I say we worked from the ground up, nose to tail, oh yeah. Nose to tail, they walk in and they go out in a freezer box. So I mean that's how plus I hunted and I fished, you know, as a kid, young adult, and so I just kind of carried that forward here. I was a little embarrassed, I think, at the start that I was just a butcher, you know, but people really, I think, appreciated that, and the knife work that I've learned. Yeah, I've improved that over the years, and I've developed some of my own techniques. I challenge anybody to cut a chicken up faster than I can. Yeah, so it's a little of both.
Right, and it's something that I imagine 50 years ago there were butchers more than there are now. You know, because now it's like I said, it's this hallmarky vibe when you walk in here, from the staff that's friendly to you guys. You own the place, this is your place. It's not like there's some person up, you know, in a booth upstairs pulling all the levers. It's you guys here doing the work, and I don't know, that's why I love coming here. I think, and that's why I've wanted to do story. We've been trying to do story for a while.
I know.
But you guys are busy, because I usually come later,
Right.
because you guys have a big drop-off day where you get a lot of turkeys, and that's like a big thing for you guys, right?
It is. It's huge. Yeah, and that's going to happen next week.
Yeah. And that's
our
usually
little cooler is really going to be full.
Yeah, and so for folks that want to, you know, it might be a little late for this year for Thanksgiving, but for anything else, like, what's the best way for them to go about, you know, finding what works for them, or getting a turkey or a ham for Christmas? They call ahead, they come in. What do you guys recommend?
Call ahead. Still plenty of time to get turkeys.
Still plenty of time.
Plenty
Okay.
of time to get turkeys. We still have. And I think we're still good in almost all weight categories as
Okay.
of right now. But I wouldn't wait too long.
Okay.
Because once we're out, we're going to be out. But always call ahead. We welcome walk-in business. But again, we can't guarantee that we're going to have what you need.
Right.
But usually I didn't say usually. If you call ahead and we tell you we're going to have it, we will have it. I will make sure we have it.
Okay. Fair enough.
We've sold our own turkey before.
Oh, more than once.
Really?
Yeah.
So then what do you do on those dimes when you sell your own turkey?
Prime rib.
Oh, that's a good alternative.
No.
That's terrible. Prime rib.
Prime rib on Thanksgiving.
What is your favorite thing about owning this business for almost 40 years?
What is my favorite thing?
Yeah.
I get to work with him every day.
Oh, that's sweet, David. You're going to follow that one up.
No, I have to say I'm lucky. I know a lot of people say, how are you married and also run a business? We started off our marriage with this business, so we've just kind of grown into it. We both do different aspects of the business, so I do this part, he does that part. We try not to cross over and step on each other's toes, and there is this middle that we both have conversations on.
Sure.
Okay, and but for the most part, it's it's been a great ride. I can't complain at all, and I think I'm fortunate to have a great partner, not only in life but also as a business partner.
How you gonna follow that one up, Dave?
What was the question again? No. I mean, I truly enjoyed working with my wife, and I joke with some customers. They'll say, "Dave, what's your secret?" I said, "Well, in therapy, they suggest that we spend more time with each other." But I'd have to say probably the relationships we built with, from our kids going to school and other parents of children that we've known, and we still maintain those relationships.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
You know, to add to that, I like to think about really our customers. We treat them like family. I mean, as you were talking, that's exactly what I was thinking, because the people that we've built relationships with, truly, when I ask how are you doing, I truly care. I want to know how they're doing. I want to hear about their kids. I want to hear about their grandchildren. I want to hear about their vacation. So I think we treat our customers like family.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it feels when I walk in.
Good.
And I appreciate you taking time every time I come in to have a conversation that you do talk about, because that's exactly what happens. And letting me sit here and talk with you just now for the last few minutes, just hear a little bit of your story. If people want to, I know you take walk-ins, do you do stuff online, or is it better just to call in and just make sure you get that human-to-human contact?
Okay, we're old. We don't do things online.
Old
Please
school,
give
I
us a
like
call.
it. Give you a
Please give us
call.
a call. I'd like to talk to you. We do have a website. You cannot order on the website. It will direct you to give us a call. This way we can ask you how many people you're having. We can ask questions that we need to know the answer, so we can get the proper product and do it the way you want it.
Right. That way there's no mixed signals or misinformation,
Yeah.
because that's part of that's the whole thing, is that extra customer care that actually benefits people in the long run, because you're walking them through a recipe maybe that they're talking about, where, oh, you need gravy with the turkey? Of course you need gravy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and we've had customers who will bring a recipe in, and I've actually caught a couple of mistakes where I'm like, that is never going to be done in time for the temperature they're going to roast it. I think it was a brisket. Anyway.
What's the phone number people should call if they want to talk to one of you two or your friendly staff?
847-251-4000.
Easy enough. Dave and Denise, thank you so much for taking time
Thank
to
you,
chat
Tom.
with me. I appreciate it very much.
Pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
You
Happy
too.
holidays.
Bye-bye.
How about that story, huh? Well, great story here at Zier Prime Meats and Poultry with Dave and Denise. TomBarnesChicago@gmail.com. If you have a story from the 78 suggestion, hit me up at the website, storiesfromthe78.com. And if you have a second, come down here. It's just a great spot here in Wilmette, in the Home Alone house. Not that far away either. Thanks for watching.